Welcome to what we're learning in school. We are going to work on some stays today, and we're going to use the concept of a release cue. Release cues are important. It's really good information for your dog, and our goal when we're training and teaching our dogs things is to have clear communication that they understand. One thing with the release cue is you need to make sure it's a clear release cue. And by that I mean we're only using it for that. So if I like what my dog does, right? So I put them on here and I said, Soleil, Izar, sit. I'm gonna say yes and give them a treat. That's my reward marker, yes. Okay? Some people say good dog, oh, good girls, okay? So those would be your reward markers, and those are the words you're using to let the dog know you like what they're doing, and you would be doing it at the time they're doing the behavior, and it alerts them that a reward is coming, hence the word reward marker. Our release cue has to be different, so they know it's a release, and also if you start using your reward marker to release your dog, when you reward them, they're going to assume they're done with the behavior, right? Because we've made it a release as well. So I'm just gonna reward them right now for being in sits, because that's what I asked. Okay, and I am then going to give them a clear release. I use the word okay. Ready? Okay. Nice job. There's all kind of words you can use for releases. People use free, break, you can say all done, that'll do. Just use something that's gonna make sense to you and that you'll remember, because then you're not gonna screw it up and it'll be a clear word for you. I use okay. I actually don't really recommend it, because it's used kind of a lot in conversation, so that can become kind of muddying the waters a little bit. But it's what I've been using, it's what they're used to, and I just kind of have to hope they're listening to me and that I'm very careful not to use the word while I'm having them stay in a conversation with someone else, which I did once, and the dog ate my sandwich. Okay, ready, sit. So I'm gonna get them in a sit. Nice job. I'm rewarding them. Oh, good job. Okay, all done. I'm rewarding them for staying on that thing. Yay, all done. And giving them a clear release. And as you do this, your goal is to get them to sit there longer and longer, or a down or a stand or whatever you're working on. To get them to do it longer and longer each time, so that they get used to the idea it's not like a 10-second thing or whatever. But if you have a dog that doesn't sit still very well, obviously you'd have to do really small increments of time as you move it up. These guys are 2 and 3 years old. They've been working on it quite a bit. They're a little more familiar. Certainly they need a little work with their stays when I'm trying to train both at the same time, because they both want to play. So today we're going to concentrate on that stuff. I am also having them sit on a pedestal. These are a little harder because they're inflatable, so they're moving around, so it is adding a degree of difficulty to this day for them. But we have the Cato boards we use in class. I make all kinds of pedestals of my own. The benefit to using the pedestal is that they tend to stay on it better because they don't want to fall off, right? So we just put them on something. They're called place boards, pedestals, platforms, whatever you want to call them. And the goal is to keep them in place better because they're raised up slightly off the ground and they can't move around quite as easy. So place boards work really, really well. Now again, these guys are a little more experienced with what we're doing here, so I don't need to reward them quite as much while they're actually sitting here in these nice days. If you're just starting out, you're gonna need to do a little more rewarding for them so that they are more inclined to stay. And then we're gonna give them the release. Okay, good job. Okay, Soleil, okay, good girls, good girls. And because they like doing the activity, you can see they're readily going back to their places to start over because they are enjoying it. So, working with stays, I do not use the word stay when I start because they're probably not going to stay. And if I'm saying it and they're getting up, I'm really wrecking the word, essentially, and making it harder for myself down the road because they now have this habit or history of blowing that off because they didn't know what it was in the first place, so it really diminishes the meaning. So I literally just get my dog in a position, sit, nice. I'm I'm gonna reward them for the sit. I'm gonna decide how long they're gonna do it. And then I am going to, okay, slowly, okay, yay. You can beat that. And then I use my clear release to let them go. If your dog is sticky and you can't get them with your release, you can throw a treat on the floor. So sometimes when I'm first starting this and they're just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there and they're not quite getting the release, I'll say, okay. And I just kind of throw a treat off so they reset and go run for their treat. And then they generally are gonna wander back to do the activity again. So that is your stay. Don't use your words yet. Get a good release cue and be very consistent. Reward while they're doing it. A quick toss of the treat if you can't get them off. Otherwise, a quick hand action helps them move. And that will get them used to the behavior of staying in place before we start adding that word. And quite frankly, once they get good at it, Izar, can you come sit? Izar, sit. A lot of times you can just say sit, and that just becomes the word because we've programmed them. When I say sit, it means sit till I tell you, well, good job. It means sit till I tell you you're done, down until I tell you you're done. So you don't always even need to use the word stay, to be quite honest. I do add it. I think it makes a good reminder, backup system that I can say S-T-A-Y and walk off and expect that they will do it. Try it at home, try it in class, and if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Thank you.